Howdy partners, and welcome to another episode of Cowboys. With me, the preacher. Dang it, the fire went out. Right at the moment I'm saying hello to everybody, the fire went out. That is unluckily serendipitous, if I do say so myself. That's better. The fire is blazing once again. Welcome, everyone. Back to the town of Pity we go today. Working on the roof of the church. It's also confession day. It's Wednesday, which is confession day. But of course, confession is voluntary, so I'll only do confession if people want to volunteer to confess. I have discovered, though, that over the course of the weekend, a lot of things have happened on the server that I'm not aware of. It seems the old preacher's got some catching up to do. Or at least some crazy stuff has happened over the last couple of days, apparently. When did this occur, everybody? Was this on Sunday? Was this Sunday night? Oh, it was a Monday thing. Ah, yes. Wish I could have been there, but I was doing something else on Monday. Doing the live series recording, so couldn't make it for the shenanigans. There will be some confessions today. I see. Okay, well, don't tell me, everybody. All shall be revealed when we get to the town of Pity, I have no doubt. The preacher, of course, has been in the desert, as he usually is, spends a lot of time out there, mysteriously. Always on the search for things out there in the desert. Should probably spend a little bit more time in the town with the townsfolk, but we all have our secrets. Looks like there are a couple of people currently online at the moment, so we're going to go and hang out with them, see what's going on. And hopefully we can do a little bit more work on the church today. But I suppose we will find out when we get there. Maybe some of the townsfolk will want to help the preacher rebuild the church too. That would help the whole situation go a little bit quicker, you know? Hey, Funnily Shaped, thank you for the 3 months in a row. Appreciate it. And there comes the choo-choo. Thank you, Funnily, for the choo-choo. Appreciate you. Rumor has it that the preacher is a werewolf. We all have our secrets, Nuno. Yes, indeed. I want to say a big thank you to Hallowed Animations for an off-stream tip last night or earlier today. Thank you very much, Hallowed, for the very generous tip. I appreciate you. And I hope you're doing well. Another choo-choo has arrived, and that's from Nas here with a gifted sub. Thank you, Nas, for the gifted sub. Appreciate you, as always, for your support. Thank you, thank you. All right, friends. Let's head over to the town of Pity. I'm very curious to see what is occurring. And hopefully, things haven't gone crazy over there. By the way, on the button, Unigummy here with 5 gifted choo-choos. 5 new souls arriving in the town of Pity. Welcome. Welcome to the 5. And thank you, Unigummy, for the very generous 5 gifted subs. I appreciate it. Super kind of you. We'll just let these choo-choos come through, and then we'll head over to the old town of Pity, as the sun rises here in the desert, where the preacher obviously likes to spend quite a bit of time. With just him, his sleep mat, and his trusty wagon. What more does a preacher need? Oh, the stupid fire. Quenched once again. Now the clouds coming over the top. Oh my goodness. It's getting super creepy out here in the desert. Anyway, guys. Let's head over to the town of Pity. Gummy, thanks again for the 5 gifteds. Thank you, Nars, for the gifted. And finally, Shape, thank you for the resub. We'll see you guys in the town of Pity. Another beautiful day in the town of Pity, and I've just returned from a few days in the desert, clearing my head and thinking about what transpired at sermon on Friday. I feel like everybody who attended the ceremony was here in good faith, and there was a decent feeling and a good vibe all in all. Although to this moment I do worry about the mayor, very slightly, and even more concerned that the man they call Sausage was not here for the sermon. What omen could this mean? Either way, my trust for those that live in the town of Pity remains at lukewarm. And hopefully today the church can continue to be rebuilt. Though I'd like to start paying those in town a visit to see what might have transpired over the last few days.
To their brains.
I think you might be right on that one.
Howdy, citizens of Pity, howdy.
Howdy, Father.
Why, howdy, Pastor.
How's everybody doing
You
today?
seem like we're reverberating from your own speech.
I apologize about that. My glasses sometimes have some echo to them.
Echoing tone. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, Pastor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
How is everyone
Pastor,
doing?
Well, I mean, most of us had a bunch of our things taken. Have you had anything taken?
Wait, what?
Well, we
I'm
had
going to
bandits
need to be
town.
filled in on some news. What's been going on?
So during your sermon, there may have been a few robbers around here.
During the
Bandits.
sermon?
During the
During the
sermon.
sermon.
Oh, may the word be with us.
I believe we caught. What was it? It was Bunny, Martin.
It was Sausage.
Shep and
and
Sausage.
Shep.
That
Yep.
explains why they weren't at the sermon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I am incredibly disappointed, so much so that I'm not sure I can speak for the next minute and 10 seconds.
It's all
Right,
good.
well,
Take your time.
Very
That's fine.
specific
You-
amount of
you have-
time.
You haven't believed
Sometimes you
the
have to live an
preacher.
amount of time to reclaim yourself.
I
and
call
regain
that a
thoughts
moan
and-
and a bit of silence.
He did seem
Mhm.
close to Sausage, so this might be a big shock to him.
So the four we're looking for then are Bunny, Shep, Sausage, and Martin, right?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. I did see Forcy sneak out of that sermon as well.
Yeah, Forsey might possibly, but I'm not too sure on Forsey or not, because Forsey I think came back on in later.
I don't think 4C could hurt a fly.
That's
well,
true.
Forcy been
I
around
agree.
these parts longer than most of y'all, so
Mhm.
I'd be surprised.
Well,
if this has been
sometimes the
even
young man gets
longer.
loped into trouble.
I will say, I did get a book from Shep,
A book?
and a book after I blew up the original hideout.
And man
It
knows
basically
how to
said-
write and read?
I apparently Shep knows how to write. but it said don't come looking for them, because if so, I'll end up like the same fate as Bunny. So I don't know if something happened to Bunny or not with them, but apparently Bunny might be dead or they might have killed Bunny. I don't know how that
Well,
sounded.
I mean, they all wanted dead or alive, so if that takes one on my list, there'll be no tears lost here.
That's all fine and great, but now they're turning on each other.
So if I got a bounty's bones, I still get 100% of the bounty. Is that correct?
Well, if you manage to find me the dead body of Mr. Bunny, then sure.
Is Missy aware of all this? Has anyone
I-
spoken to her?
I haven't recently. The last time I spoke to Missy was originally when they started and left
I-
up, in, up in
she
Cali.
seemed-
I've
a
talked
bit
to
in
Missy.
disbelief.
She's very heartbroken.
Yeah.
No idea that Bunny was going to be doing this.
Pardon me, I've been in the desert for a few days, but does this imply that there has been a murder?
Yes, that's what
Sounds
we
like
I
it.
suppose
Here, what,
so.
Well, them
why don't y'all
it's
come into the
implied, but-
saloon? I'll get y'all some food. And
A,
chat
Thank
a
you.
stiff drink would might go down
So-
better, if that would
If
be
you had
okay.
a
Stiff
Lord,
drink would be
that is.
wonderful. Unfortunately, all my liquor was stolen.
I think they might have taken all the strong stuff there, Pastor.
Took all. You see all
Well,
this?
I checked. They didn't take my strong thing, so they took yours. I could probably go get and replace.
You have
what
like
you
a
lost.
backup stock.
Did they
Yeah, I
leave any
really
of the
wish I-
sangria?
Unfortunately, everything's gone right now. But
That is
Terry
very
might have
unfortunate
something for
indeed.
you. Here, but for now,
I'm sure we'll manage to get something back, or at least get justice.
oh, I'd love justice.
Sheriff,
Howdy, Apple.
I've been saying
Oh,
since
Miss
day
Kidman.
one that
Would you
these
like some food?
new folk and green creatures are nothing but trouble for pity.
Yeah, but I chose to try and believe the best in people. I mean, everyone that comes to pity has some sort of past, and I don't mind what that past is, as long as you ain't doing those things here.
No doubt.
That is true.
We all
Mr.
have our
Shaggy's been
secrets.
part of this town for a while now, but turns out if you're right
Pull up
to
a
the
chair.
core, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Thank you. Will. Let me just throw something
Here, just
over
grab
here.
one and pull up a chair.
Here we
Good.
are.
Oh, you are a gem.
I'd have to ask the preacher. You don't have anything to do with this, do you?
I've got.
I have been in the desert for the last few days.
I don't know. It just seems odd that
Sounds
they did
mighty
all this when
qualm.
you were hosting your.
I can see how
You know
there is suspicion that during the sermon, both the thievery and the murder occurred. This leaves me behest of words. But if you were there for the sermon, you would have heard my sermon about the word, and surely that would have put all doubts aquelled about my innocence in this regard.
Of course, of course. You have an
You did speak
alibi,
a mighty
partner.
word.
Everybody saw you on top of the stand.
I
You
mean,
appreciate
plus,
All the
you-
front
you'd
chairs have
have
been
to-
taken. Let
you'd
me-
have
let
to
me
be
pull
an
up a
idiot
chair.
to
Pull up
be
a
Yeah,
part of
grab the
that
chairs, you're
scheming and
good.
staying in town.
That's true.
Would you
Absolutely.
like tea or cider?
Now, was
Tea
you
or
any of
cider?
you privy
A
to
tea,
this
please.
document writing here?
And you must
the
be
other
awfully
day,
distraught.
that
I mean, you
stand-in
spoke to that
sheriff
sausage
fella,
fella a lot.
Oscar, as we know it now is Martin. He wrote this big book here, dictating some laws and some practices. Was any of you privy to that?
Can I see the
No.
book if you've got it on?
Yeah, show this.
I
I think the
do.
sheriff needs to see the rules
yeah,
before we
yeah.
enforce them.
Well, we all agreed. However, it has been altered since the last time I looked at it.
But this
You
is
see if-
Martin said this.
Yes, you see if you can find the clause has been meddled with. I'd say go to clause 6.
There shall be no death on sight for bandits and other criminals. This here
Now,
town operates in a
Sheriff.
jail time system that decision is made by the petty majority on how long each person will serve. Well, I don't think that's quite how this town works.
If I read that correctly,
Well, you tell me who might have snuck in a town
Wait, so
and
what-
had a little
wait.
scribble.
May I read?
Why,
I
of
think it might have
course.
been Oscar himself.
does that imply
Look
that
back when
bandits
no one
cannot be
knows.
held by the law?
No, that is a bunch of tomfoolery written on a piece of paper there, preacher.
'Cause, like,
I
we
agree.
only had,
Nothing
what,
but
4?
tomfoolery.
Originally 4 of them.
Mhm.
Also,
Amen.
that I don't think that rule book is like officially
Is
like
like justified anymore.
is just
It
like
was.
he's Despite saying he's the mayor, he was not the mayor. There was
never
no
the
vote.
mayor.
That man has been a fraud the entire
Wait.
time he's been here.
So people agreed to this?
No.
Yes, everybody in party did.
I think it's the same
Not-
as how
not
Martin saying he
exactly.
was the mayor because everyone agreed,
Right.
whereas Miss Sherry said no several
'Cause
times.
I don't agree, and I never did agree, and I never quite liked him in the first place.
I also feel like if you choose to steal from the other residents here, your opinions and right to vote gets removed.
I feel as though also
That is
there's
true.
something that is very untrustworthy of a man who shows up and goes, "I'm the mayor. There's no vote. Let's just agree."
Right, yeah.
That is true.
And also
mean,
wears
I've
multiple
had-
hats at the same time.
Yeah.
Very
That all-
Yeah,
suspicious.
why do you need more than one hat?
Exactly.
He's
I
hiding all
thought it
those
was
lies
tradition.
under there.
Well, no, so that was another
Well, I
clause
think
that
we
thought
just
would
have
be
a tradition
funny,
of mayors
was that
being
each new mayor
idiots.
would wear an additional hat.
Clause 1. Each subsequent
Compounding.
mayor must wear
To be
plus
fair, I
one
think
hat
it's
at
because
all
around these
times.
parts,
Yeah,
the
we just thought that'd be
mayor
funny thing for
position
him to
seemed to
do.
be handed down through bloodline rather than through elections, but that's what tends to happen when you
He
have
He didn't
a
have
cha-
either of those. He didn't have
No,
bloodline
that
or
one
election.
didn't. Oliver did, but that
Oliver
one
does.
not as much.
Sheriff,
know
Good
what
old
Oliver's
beautiful
at.
American nepotism.
Sheriff,
Why
I
can't
don't,
we
I
just
don't,
have an
I don't mean to
intelligent
speak
mayor?
out of turn, but I think a good old midnight lynching is in order.
Well, I think before we could do that, we need to find exactly where they're hiding. I also don't think if they're killing Bunny and one of their own, I don't think charging in there alone would also be a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
Very fair point indeed. Well, we can
They
get
got
armed.
nowhere to go.
We can hunt them
we got
down
time for
like
now.
the dogs that they are. Whew, sorry, the sangria's getting to me. It's
Father.
bringing out the
think
bringing
we
out a
might
darker
need
side of
to-
the preacher.
See about doing some sort of town roundup and go and try and find them at some point.
I'd quite like that. I'm happy to host it here if we ever wanted to hold a meeting with all the
Listen, there are
residents.
only so many places to hide within these walls.
Right,
Yeah.
but here's my concern, because I was talking to Jackie and Abolish and Miss Apple about this, but is there a chance that they dig underground and they stake out underground? Because that exponentially increases.
I mean, if they do, they gotta come up eventually. They don't have enough supplies for just being underground 24/7.
They've got
The
plenty
only-
of food and drink. At least to
Yeah,
stake
but-
out, and if the Narpies helped them,
Want.
would the Narpies be bringing them stuff now?
Well, I mean, they managed to sit still in this place for about a week and a bit. I don't imagine they'll sit still
Missy
in
and
the
I
new
also had a
location for
great
much
idea where we
longer.
build a schoolhouse for the Narpies so they can learn right from wrong.
Oh, now that's wonderful.
I'd
I
like to
will
make a
also
suggestion.
say-
We burn them all in hellfire.
Oh, I quite like that. I've
I
got
think
my
we
flint
can
and
do
steel
that after
ready.
found them.
Hey, man, that
Let's
seems
go.
mighty efficient.
Right. Well,
Cheers
I
to
think, I think that is definitely an idea we can look at.
I will also
Abolish also spoke about a cave-in.
say, yeah, if they are underground, I can just blast enough TNT down there to
Smoke
just
'em
make everything
out.
crumble on down.
Then we
Um,
set him on fire.
And then we set them on
Yes.
fire. Yes.
Yeah, y'all really want that fire, and I'm down for that.
They
But
don't
I
call me
will
Cherry Fire for a reason.
They've got all my liquor.
For no
It's gonna
reason.
be real flammable down there.
I will also say regarding the Nappies, I think the Nappies were fooled into it, or they are a bit upset because I've been slowly learning the writing, and I
Indeed,
went back
as have
over to
I.
one of them ships. I don't know if you saw it, but they had a book and a lectern, and I deciphered it, and it was something along the like, no, nop, stop, nop, buy. And I think the Nappies just don't want to be here anymore and trying to leave.
Oh.
Is
Which-
it something
Fascinating.
along the lines of nop, not good, nop, stop, nop, go home?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
And
along those lines. Not exactly, of course.
And-
Interesting.
The other day, when I got back done from like trying to find where they were, since they weren't in the snow southern part, I got back to my home, and the same radio signal and force field activation happened again.
Hmm.
And so, so you know how when we first arrived here, we heard the mayor's voice and it sounded like just repeating words over and over again.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it happened again, same
What?
exact thing. And then it said system hull damage again at whatever 98% it was, and then the force field came on through and it just reset itself. And when I went over, the Nappies, I found one of the little Nappa fellas, and I asked it what it was doing. I asked if it was trying to repair its ship, and it nodded its head yes. So I think it was trying to fix some of the wiring, and it reset off the system all again.
You know, that makes sense now. It was asking me the other day for some copper.
Oh.
Fascinating.
Well,
Yeah.
if they're managing to figure out ways to repair their ship, that means those walls are going to be coming down. Which means if
Means
we
we're on
don't...
a time limit.
Yeah,
Mighty
we gotta
convenient
find-
that they wish to leave after robbing us blind.
Well, I think
No.
those little critters have been trying to leave since they got here. I think they're just easily influenced.
Mm-hmm.
They are quite like little
I
children.
also highly doubt that the bandits let the little things keep any of the stuff that they stole.
No.
Yeah, literally, if you just give the Nappies some apples, they'll just do anything
They'll do
for
anything.
an apple or two.
Fascinating.
So, who else have we got in town here still?
Well, I
So,
believe the
Miss
merchant
Eloise?
is close by. Or at least within
Miss Simone, Miss Falls.
Miss False. Miss L.
Miss
So,
Beck?
Horses?
Miss
Yeah,
Beck.
Miss Beck, Miss L, Horsey, Missy, if we can
Missy?
trust her.
Hmm.
Might I suggest we take a look at how many of those trinkets that are somewhat blaster related are available amongst the town folk that remain, and perhaps we can all get ourselves armed and ready for a raid on the bandit hideout when we find it.
I've got,
I mean, I got...
I've got a
Different-
couple of them.
I've got 2. But I don't
I
have a
don't
lot
have
of
any of my own,
ammunition.
but I've been
I mean, if you
upgrading
want
my
ammunition,
crossbow.
you can stop panning
That's
in
good.
the waters.
My
Watch
fellow
them build
townsfolk
time
of
ammo.
pity, I know that none of us are fighters. None of us want violence. None of us.
Oh, no, I do.
Well,
Move to
I was
pi-
going to
wait,
say, what
what?
I've learned from this
Crazy.
conversation
Wait.
is the fact
Control
that most
yourself,
of y'all
woman.
do want violence,
No, I
actually.
do.
Oh, okay.
They stole
Never
from
mind
my
then.
son.
Mr. Burnham and Hellfire over here saying he don't want violence.
I mean, Pastor, what do you want?
That's his
You
minor
want a
critic,
Cleaver?
right
Do
here.
you
I
want
don't
a
really like
Backslit,
being
or you want a
stolen
Quasar?
from.
Which one do you want?
I've got a Zeep and a Numu.
I would
What's
like
that
whatever will
deal,
evaporate that wannabe mayor the quickest and the
Oh,
most
I'll
efficient.
take this right here.
I'm not looking for quick.
Thank you.
Oh,
Let me
Miss
get-
Gracie
Oh, my
Prime.
goodness.
Crazy. We're
I'm
gonna get
really,
along right, real nice.
really not happy right now. They
And I'll give
stole
y'all
from
some
my
plasma bolts as
saloon.
well for the ammo.
They opened a
That's
tab
okay,
that they're
so-
never gonna pay, and they
Okay,
stole
so
my
they're never
horse.
gonna pay. And you
Well-
lost one of your gals.
And I lost one of my gals. One of my gals is the one that stole from me.
Well,
I
I mean,
stabbed in the back so many times.
while
Who's gonna take us on stage now?
How does this thing work anyway?
well, maybe
Sure.
we don't
Maybe,
aim it.
maybe don't work on
Maybe,
that right
maybe,
now.
That's
maybe
the
you
right
go
way to
outside
point
to
it.
the shooting
Pastor,
range if you want to
go
try
to the shooting
shooting.
Oh,
range
wait,
if you
it's
wanna
doing
figure out how to
something.
shoot.
Something's happening.
Okay,
There we
maybe
go.
Pastor, you
Okay.
put it away
Hey,
until you
mind
go
the
outside.
direction of that, partner.
Okay, and how do we
Maybe
pull the
we
trigger
don't
on this
have it.
thing?
Father, put it away. Father,
Put
put
this
it
like
away.
this, and
Father.
that's
Oh my god.
Father,
Okay.
let's take him outside.
okay.
Alright,
Oh,
take the
dear.
bastard to the shooting range. Maybe
Right.
not a good idea to give him a
This-
blaster after how much he just drank. But
I mean, maybe
we
I had a
only
little
had
bit
one
too much
cider.
sangria, but ow,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
prickly pear straight to the
Oh,
preacher's
dear.
bits. Thank you for
Well,
that.
I mean,
Thank you for
you're
that.
kind of blocking my view. It's quite hard to see around you. There you go.
All right, here we go. Now, how do I get this bad boy loaded up to fire?
Okay, stop.
Someone
Please
help
stop
him.
turning around.
if you, I think it might be default your R for reload.
It made a sound, and
Why is he making those
it's
I don't
it's very satisfying playing with
You
this
know,
thing.
it's never that hard. to
Oh,
flash.
good lord, it's done. It's doing something. Say hello to my
Stop
little
pointing that
friend.
thing.
Boom!
Well,
Oh my
There it is.
goodness.
well, there you go,
Knock the place
Pastor.
off
Now
for
you
you.
can put it away. You've seen how to fight.
Put it away.
Now
Those
Pastor's mighty
bandits have a
shy. Look at that.
Plasma
It's very
bolt.
polite.
Shot right now.
Very polite right
You
now.
got the ammo for it?
Yeah,
Th-
well.
Thank you, by the way, for this delicious crusted beef.
Oh, no, I
It
don't.
has gone down a
No.
treat.
Well, be aware that the ammo for those things is still difficult to get.
Yeah, you gotta go panning for it, or
hmm
some of them wandering merchants will have it for selling depending on which one for like a diamond. So you kind of have to barter with that guy.
Okay, I will preserve these ammo bolts for the face of the bandits.
Now,
That's a
I
good
will
call.
not lose any sleep if any of them do happen to perish, but I should warn that the wanted alive part tends to be slightly more important, at least for my sides. I will try and bring them in
Death
alive.
can be a
Process
mercy in
Okay.
those cases
Noted.
sometimes.
We must
I
have a
mean-
trial.
At least
me?
until, at
Also,
least to
Gracie
figure out a
holding
bit
hands
more
together
about their
right now.
motivations, who else is involved. Because we've spent time with those four, there ain't no way they managed to pull all that off themselves, surely.
They must have had
Well,
help. Yes.
we were all kind of a bit distracted.
Yeah, we were all listening to the wood.
Yeah, well, hopefully they won't weaponize the word again.
Sheriff, when should we mobilize to try and track these people down?
I think for now we play a bit more with our cards close to our chest. I think we gather what information we can, report anything to me, and when I think the time to strike seems right, I will be sure to let y'all know so we can make a sort of town militia to head into there. While I am mighty capable, I do not think I win a shootout with 3 of them.
That's a sound plan.
So, right, well, I'm gonna head back to the sheriff office. If any of y'all get any more information, be sure to let me know. But it has been a mighty long day already, and I just got up, so I'm gonna go back to my work.
Of course,
Wow.
Sheriff.
Thank you,
Of course.
Sheriff.
Of course.
Sheriff.
Come on, Ranger, let's go.
Fine citizens of pity, I will... Oh, it seems that I can't stop kneeling down for some reason. A little bit too much sangria, I think. Oh,
Happens to the best of us.
Here, have some carbs.
oh, thank you. That should help. Should have lined the stomach first with this. Oh, there we go again with the knee. I'm going to continue fixing the church on this next fine day. And if any of you feel
That's good.
you would like to come for confession, of course, confessions are on Wednesdays. And the church is open to anyone who wishes to confess. Yes.
Wonderful.
Which is today.
Not compulsory, though, of course, but indeed, I shall be available confessions until sundown.
Take care,
Thank you,
Father.
Pastor.
Take care.
Father.
Well, a couple of hotkeys have got all mixed up. The preacher can't stop kneeling for some reason. Hey, Pearl, thank you so much for the raid. Right in the middle of a bit of roleplay there on the Cowboy SMP. And welcome to everybody who is joining us. If you are new here to the Cowboy SMP, this is a stream-only role-playing server created by the POW Creations team. Same people that did Rats SMP and Pirates SMP, etc. And we are here on this server acting as a preacher in a town called Pity. And in the first week of being here, we discovered that our world is currently in a force field, otherwise known as a world border. And living among us are these little green aliens called Gnops. And over the last couple of days, there was a massive thievery that occurred. And those people involved were, well, can you believe it? It's not surprising. Martin, Sausage, and friends robbed the town blind on Friday during the preacher's sermon. When all the townsfolk were inside of the church, those evil out-of-towners robbed the entire place blind. And, well, the sheriff, who is Scott, has just rounded up the townsfolk to eventually try and track these bandits down. And I'd like to see them burn in hellfire, but, you know, a trial would be cool too. So anyway, welcome. That's pretty much the tale so far. And as the preacher here, I am in charge of rebuilding the church. The town was destroyed by a massive windstorm. That's how the entire series kicked off. And after the windstorm subsided, a bunch of out-of-towners arrived. By the way, what is that? What is that? There's definitely something going on with my hotkeys at the moment. Left shift is sneak, and is it something else? Yeah, there's some really weird stuff happening with my keybinds, I think. Anyway, yes. So after the storm subsided, a whole bunch of newcomers suddenly came into the town. Those newcomers included Martin Sausage and Cherry and Gracie. Oh, no, I think Gracie lives here already. There's quite a few members of the cast here. And the preacher does enjoy a sangria every now and then, so not 100% clued up on what's what and who's who. But the town is filled with newcomers and original residents. The preacher has been in town for about 6 months, 6 months or so. He actually, I see, it's the X key that's giving me trouble. The preacher arrived here 6 months ago before the storm. Oh, it's Sit. That's what's going on here. Let's change this to this. Okay, here we go. Because 6 months ago, bandits came into town and actually killed the previous preacher. And this preacher arrived to replace the previous preacher who was brutally murdered on the steps of the church. And that's kind of the story of my character. So I'm relatively new to the town. I'm probably one of the newest citizens outside of those who have arrived after the storm. And that's another little thing. What was that? That little dash thing? That's another hotkey that's clashing here. I'm entirely sure what that is. Oh, it's R is also dashing here. I think there was a recent upgrade that has done some weird stuff into my things. Give, I don't know what that means, but it'll make it J. And R is still clashing. R is usually my inventory key. Oh, it's the action key. Okay. Action key we can put on, I have no idea. H, I guess. Don't know what H is.
Preacher?
Oh, that's that. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Sheriff, welcome to the church. Hi.
Well, I just wanted to have a quick word in private with yourself.
Indeed,
Yeah.
please do come and sit. We shall treat this as a confession. But
Well, I ain't done any of the crimes, but hopefully we still get the privacy part
We do.
from the confession.
for the townsfolk's perspective, we are just doing confession.
All I know right now is that Mr. Abolish had given me some information, which I did go and confirm myself is correct. The only person that I am suspicious of in town is Mr. Pete Side.
Why?
Because, well, Abolish overheard him and some of the bandits having a conversation after the robbery. And when the rest of his information is correct, I choose to believe the other things he's told me. Plus, Mr. P-Side seems to be one of those men that likes to have his fingers in many pies.
That is unfortunate indeed. Of all the newcomers, I thought Mr. Pisai would be one that we could trust, but it sounds like...
Everything right now against Mr. P-Side is all speculation. Nothing is concrete. But I would just maybe keep any information you find to yourself or to me instead of to him right now, as I am unsure what information is being relayed.
That is duly noted, and as the word tells us, Sheriff, as you most probably know, that the devil lies within those that we trust the most.
Exactly. I'm hoping down the line I might be able to test my theory. I'm thinking if I maybe give Mr. P-South a bit of information that might not be factually correct, we can see if that information gets relayed back to the bandits.
That sounds like a good test.
Gotta work out some things to figure out what information I should divulge. But
Perhaps what we could do... May I run an idea past you, Sheriff?
Why, of course.
Perhaps we could hide some gold within the church somewhere. And if that gold should suddenly disappear, then we would know exactly who was responsible if it was only you, me, and Mr. P. Scythe who knew of its location.
Well, raise you one better, I think we set up a couple gold situations and we tell other people the location of one and Mr. Scythe the location of the other.
Perfect.
Because right now, Why, I have no suspicions of Miss Gracie or Miss Cherry, I cannot be sure. But if we give Mr. Peasath a piece of information that is only to him, and it does happen to go missing, then we know who's to blame. Oh, I apologize, Sheriff.
That's
did not mean to give you a punch in the shoulder. I just really liked your idea.
That's okay. I mean,
But
you know, those two do drink quite a lot of wine and cider. I've seen them partying late into the night. It's very concerning to me whether we can trust them or not, Sheriff. If I had it my way, every newcomer in town would have been removed from pity on day 2. But alas, here we are.
If we went by that logic, I'd have had to remove you when you entered town as well.
That is a piece of my logic I had not properly considered. But also true, yes.
I choose to believe that people come to these parts looking for a fresh start, and I am willing to allow people that until they disrespect us and our hospitality, as those bandits seem to have done.
I tend to occur.
But
I mean, agree.
right, well, I best be heading. I got many things to look into, but keep your cards to yourself for now, preacher.
Will
and
do.
if you hear anything, you know where to find me.
Keep me abreast, Sheriff. And sermons on
Shall.
Fridays and confession on Wednesdays.
Good to know. I'll see you then.
Scott just giving me a little punch by mistake. Hilarious. Hold on. I'm still dashing. I'm still dashing on the R key. Wait. It's in the middle of... Oh, it's rolling. That's what in the middle of trying to fix my keys. I mean, you always got to be ready... When you're on a roleplay server, guys, there is no resting. You better be ready to roleplay at the blink of an eye. Because the roleplay comes quick, fast, and in a hurry, let me tell you. Anyway, very curious. So we've got some suspicions about Mr. P. Scythe. Very curious indeed. Speaking of which...
It's a mighty fine place you have here, Pastor. It's coming a long way.
Good afternoon, my child. Welcome to the church.
Good afternoon, Pastor. Now, is it still a Wednesday? Did you still have your confessions open?
Confessions are indeed open. Please come and take a seat in the front row.
Of course.
And we can converse with just you and I in the Word.
That'd be good.
I shall create a private group for us to keep this conversation 100% private.
I'll head in there now. Now,
Mr. P.
Pastor,
Scythe, talk to me.
Something urgent to raise with you.
How long since your last confession, my child?
It must have been about a month or 2. I ain't compared since I've been in the big city.
That's okay. 10 Hail Marys. After this, and
Of course.
you shall be blessed. Please continue.
Now, my profession takes me down some interesting roads, Pastor. Sometimes you find yourself dealing with some interesting folk. I'm sure you found the same dealing with confessionals.
I have indeed. I've met all types of folk, and I know them all.
Of course. Now, I'll be completely forthcoming with you, Pastor. I didn't quite come here to confess. I came here to convene with you, for I was informed of some interesting information regarding your sermon by some mutual friends of ours.
I understand. Were there questions about the content of my sermon?
No, it wasn't like that. I was just making sure that we was both aware whose side we found ourselves on.
Well, I am always on the side of the Word and the Word only.
Of course. But they put you up to it, didn't they? They told you when to do it, didn't they? The sermon.
When you say they, who are you referring to, Mr. P. Scythe?
Well, I ain't sure who exactly, but it was one of the 4 of them. I was just making sure that you knew that I knew, and then I was letting you know that you have friends in town. Should any of the others start to gain suspicions of you, that you have a friend with a law degree behind him.
Understood.
Thank you, Pastor. It's been a mighty fine confession. You come find me if any of them come find you.
So I shall, my son. Sermons are on Fridays, confessions on Wednesdays. May the word be with you.
Good. Of course, you have yourself a fine and lovely day, Pastor. It's been good talking to you.
You too, Mr. Peasythe. Goodbye. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is happening, everybody? Things are falling apart. I needed a brief moment just to try and process what I just heard. It seems that people in town think that the preacher had something to do with the robbery. The preacher has spent every waking moment of his life trying to repair this church and to bring the word into this town. It is absolutely outrageous to even think that he might have had anything to do with the robbery. I'm shocked and appalled. But if anything, what that confession reveals is that Mr. Peasythe himself is 100% guilty. For he indirectly admitted to be a part of some sort of scheme. Assuming that I was a part of the scheme too. Immediately gives away the entire game for Mr. Peasythe. I'm not sure it's quite time to go to the sheriff just yet with this. I believe more information is needed. We need for one of the other bandits to come and see us to 100% secure this suspicion that I have. But from that encounter that just occurred, I think it's pretty clear to us all that Mr. Peasythe needs to burn in hellfire. Is a preacher allowed to divulge what was said in confession? I guess a preacher isn't. Uh-oh, by the way, something has happened to the roof here. We're not connecting perfectly here. Uh-oh, what's happened? I think it's because I lowered everything. Oh no, guys, what do we do about this? Unless the roof just goes flat now, right? And then has a little peak at the top. That's also fine. Well, the plot certainly has thickened around here, friends. What an interesting day indeed, here in the town of Pity. We've got to continue work on this church, though. We've got to get this thing completed. And we just got to hope that at some point I love the birds so much. They're so cool. We just hope at one point that one of the actual guilty parties comes to see the preacher, perhaps in the secret of the night or something. We can finally lock down a confession or something like that. By the way, something really weird is happening here. I'll- Hello, my child, where are you? Oh wait, someone was calling the sheriff. I'm not the sheriff, never mind. Geez, what am I doing here, everyone? I am really building this church badly, aren't I? This is all completely wrong. Yeah, I've completely messed this up. Yeah, the roof's got 2 pitches, apparently.
Hi, Pastor.
Merchant, it has been a while since I've seen you. Please do come inside.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you.
Please do come inside.
I was coming to just quickly clear with you if you knew where the sheriff was at all.
Oh, very interesting. I thought you were here for confessions, my child. It is Wednesdays, of
No.
course.
Although maybe you would know if someone were to confess something. I seem to be missing an item from my shop.
Ah, yes. I was also saddened to see that you weren't with us for sermon on Friday. Is everything okay with you, merchant?
Yeah, I mean I was there in spirit.
I see. Your spirit was felt here with the word.
Anyway, I have a globe missing. My family heirloom that I've had for many a year.
Yes, regarding your
it's
missing
missing.
piece. There was a robbery during the sermon.
During the sermon.
Indeed. You may have noticed that Mr. Sausage and Mr. Oscar, the one who declared himself mayor upon the exiting of the previous mayor. It is them who apparently went around town and robbed us all blind during the sermon to the word. And for this they will burn in hellfire, merchant.
They will indeed. I mean, yes. Well, I haven't met this Oscar.
Oscar. Yes.
Oscar.
The blonde one.
No.
Smells a bit
I-
like blackberries.
Oh, very odd. No, I don't believe I've met him recently.
Well, be wary of him.
I've heard of him.
A
Okay.
dangerous man indeed.
Okay.
Merchant, please keep your ears to the ground and do have a word with the sheriff if you can.
Yes,
although-
I will indeed.
I would like to inquire that, or suggest that perhaps the sheriff might ask you if you might have been involved in the robbery yourself, considering you weren't in confession.
Well, I mean, seeing as though I have had my own globe stolen, I don't know what you mean. I wouldn't steal something from myself, would I? That wouldn't make any sense.
That would make 0 sense. Very true. Suspicions of you in my eyes are quelled, but the sheriff is an astute and thorough man. He might probe deeper.
Well, you know me. I don't do anything like that without a reason for it.
Very true. Very true.
Exactly. So, well, I'll leave you to are you repairing the church?
Merchant, between you and I, from the very day these green creatures and these strangers arrived, in pity I knew that trouble was afoot. Now look where we stand. We have been robbed. And, if you haven't heard, there was a murder.
There was a murder while I was gone?
Yes, Bunny was
Wait.
murdered.
But Bunny was... What? I thought it was just my horse. I was gonna update you on that, but...
Still your beating heart, my child. Evil is about. We must find them and we must burn them in hellfire.
Okay. Oscar and, Sausage?
Mr. Sausagio.
Okay.
He is from
Okay.
strange lands and a strange fellow indeed.
Indeed, okay.
I had to,
Well, I'll keep it
I had to clear his rash last week, merchant. It was one of the most traumatic moments of my entire life as a preacher.
This is too much information, but thank you very much, preacher. We'll, see you around.
May the word be with you.
Good evening.
Gotta give False all the credit for keeping it together while interacting with me. Oh my goodness. I can't help but slowly escalate things also. Sorry, False. Can't help myself. Oh, goodness. I mean, like, the preacher spends a lot of time in the desert, okay? I'm not sure he's entirely, like... I don't think he 100% knows what he's talking about at the best of times. He clearly loves sangria too, so I think he's got quite a foggy mind for most of the time that he's awake. Wait, isn't Martin Oscar, though? Martin is Oscar, right? Or did I get that completely wrong? Yeah, Oscar is Martin, yeah. Oh, no one's supposed to know that? Wait, what? Oh, right. Whoops. Wait, so who told me that he's Oscar? I'm sure he was being referred to as Oscar at some point. I'm pretty sure that during the last stream I heard this word. Because Martin didn't tell me that like off stream or anything. The only way that I could have heard the name Oscar is on the stream. So, well, anyway, I hope I haven't broken any law. That would suck. That truly would suck. Anyway, good job to False for being able to withstand the preacher's nonsense. Not everybody has the stomach for the old preacher's shenanigans. That was lovely. I mean, renovations to the church are going well, I would say. We are slowly but surely doing some fixing and stuff here. It's starting to look pretty good. I mean, I'm just winging it right now with regards to block placing and stuff. I don't even know if this is like working out the way it's supposed to, but it's coming together slowly but surely. It's quite a big roof to actually to fill. Bigger than I thought it was, that's for sure. Maybe this one needs to go like this. And well, hopefully the merchant could get caught up by the sheriff on all the goings-ons. Of course, the merchant is a regular citizen of Pity. She's been living here for longer than I have, in fact. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, has the merchant been living in Pity her whole life? Or at least for most of it? I could be wrong. The preacher doesn't get to spend a lot of time with the merchant because I think the preacher weirds the merchant out a little bit, and the merchant doesn't spend more time than she has to with the preacher at the best of times, which is totally understandable, to be fair. The preacher is pretty weird, especially now that he's talking about hellfire and stuff. It's kind of getting a little bit aggressive. I mean, the preacher got done dirty though. A robbery during the sermon, that like puts the spotlight directly on the preacher, right? That suggests that the preacher had something to do with this whole thing. I mean, if that doesn't deserve hellfire, I don't know what does. The preacher be just a little bit angry about being thrown under the bus by them outsiders. How's the roof looking, by the way? I mean, is this what it's supposed to look like, guys? I really don't like... I think this is what it's supposed to look like. I'm just following the pattern that was already there. Yeah, back in the day, you stole a horse that was punishable by death. Exactly. Exactly. You do a robbery during a sermon? In a small town? That surely is deserving of some serious reparation. I guess it's supposed to be like rust and stuff, but maybe it's not supposed to be stripy like this. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's supposed to be patchy as opposed to stripy. If that makes sense. Yeah. I think so. Maybe if we take like some of... Or at least break down some of the stripes a little bit. That will help to make it a little... I don't know, like it's looking a little bit weird to me at the moment. With the stripy business. It's like separate some of this stuff here. Ow. Yeah, I think that'll already start to look a little bit better, actually. And we start breaking up this stuff. Like, I'm trying to figure out what in my mind the granite and the... like, these blocks are supposed to represent in the build. I'm assuming it's rust of these, like, these slates, right? That's kind of how I saw it in my mind's eye. Like, these bits are the rusting of these gray slates, basically. Let's see what happens if we break it up a bit. Oh, it's like dirt or dust, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's like little bits of dirt and dust that have sort of blown up and accumulated on the roof, right? That actually does make a lot more sense. Come to think about it. With that in mind, we can probably do a better job with this then. Just having like single blocks doesn't really make that much sense and looks kind of weird. Let's just clean this up a bit here. Add a bit of variation to the dirt here. Clean all of this up. And then this will need to become like a little dirty patch or whatever. Maybe something like this. And that is already looking a little bit better. By the way, guys, during all of the roleplay, there was a few choo-choos and stuff going off, and I want to say a very big thank you to Imperial Commissar for the 14 months. Good evening, Preacher and chat. How the time flies. Hard to believe it's been 14 months. I know, right? Oh, no, that was Hallowed Animations with the 14 months. Thank you, Hallowed. Appreciate it, and thank you for the kind message. I know, right? 14 months just goes like it ain't no thing. Absolutely insane. Also, Imperial Commissar here with the 4 months. Howdy, Rain. Glad to be able to watch the stream. Thank you, Commissar, and welcome. Thanks again to Pearl for the raid earlier on. And Hallowed here with 10 gifted subs alongside a very generous tip earlier today. Thank you so much, Hallowed, for your support today. That is very, very kind of you. Much appreciated. As always, thank you, thank you. As the choo-choo train arrives in the town of Pity, bring in another 10 of you to come and live here in the town of Pity. So welcome. That looks way better already, right, guys? Yeah, I think I like that. Maybe I don't like this, though. Also, we need, like, a way in and out of this whole situation. Do I have more cobblestone? I do. Although, we're definitely not going to have enough cobblestone to complete this roof. That's for dang sure. This is a pretty large roof. Yeah, this looks way better. That looks way better. I guess the question is, what is the final shape of the roof, though? That is a big question that I've got in my mind. I have no idea. I guess the roof is going to have a lip that goes, like, over the side of the building. Let me show you what I mean. And potentially, actually, this lip could be made out of a different block. So, I mean, it could be something like this, right? Yeah, I think, like, this sort of roof would hang over the side of the building. And that'll add a cool bit of a little bit of depth here to this part of the building, too. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. And maybe we can add, like, a wood type here. Maybe like a acacia or something. I think that looks grand. Although, now that we're adding some dirt and stuff into the roof, I think I want to add like a little patch over here. So yeah, guys, it's been a wild day for lore here. Good old preacher just comes back from the desert after spending a few days there, and suddenly a whole bunch of stuff has been cooking. If you just got here, basically the sheriff came to talk to the preacher and asked him if he had anything to do with the robbery during the sermon. The preacher vehemently denied it. And the sheriff basically asked the preacher to work with him to try and discover the thieves. Shortly after that, Mr. P. Scythe arrived and basically said to the preacher, I know that you had a part in it, and I just want you to know that you've got friends in town. Which basically says to the preacher that Mr. P. Scythe is either the ringleader of the whole thing, of the whole tooting thing, or, at the very least, is heavily involved. And that is an important bit of information that the preacher will be sharing with the sheriff at some point. But for now, I want to gather a little bit more evidence before we go and start accusing. Because at this point in time, it's very easy for Mr. P. Scythe to just say, nope, the preacher's also involved. He's trying to, you know, shimmy his way out of this thing. So we do need a little bit, the preacher needs a little bit more evidence before we can fully close this case. I would like to get this entrance finished here. Oh, we actually need way more blocks though, right? Yeah. And I'm completely out of bones. Out of bone blocks right now. Very unfortunate indeed. I think the fastest way for us to get bones is probably fishing and panning at the same time. So let's do a little bit of that, shall we? Let's head over to the old canyon for some fishing and panning, but I'm happy with that. The roof is coming together, and we kind of fixed the front of the church a little bit too. which was in desperate need of some fixing. Still a lot of work to do on this side of the church, of course, but things are coming together. Look at that, right? Oh, that's so cool. The interior is starting to feel more covered over, you know? That's awesome. That's working out real nice. Right. Let's go to the canyon and do some fishing. Do some pan and see if we can get some bones. By the way, thank you to everybody who's come out today for another little session here on the Cowboys SMP. I hope you're enjoying it. I know a lot of you guys are very, very deep into the story and really enjoying it from very many different angles and perspectives, and it certainly has been a wild couple of weeks here on the server. And a big shout out to Power Creations for once again inviting me to be a part of such an exceptional cast and such an interesting project. It's been great. We need a graveyard to bury the gold in. That's a great idea. I guess we can bury the gold in the merchant's horse's grave, right? I think that'd be a cool place to do it. Oh, this is taking us to the gold mine. This isn't where we can pan. The canyon, I think, is this way, right? By the way, the preacher never did manage to get himself a horse. Which is mighty unfortunate. By the way, I'm so like how awesome are birds in Minecraft? Can't we have these in vanilla? Please? They're so cool. They fly around in flocks. Like, that's so epic. Yeah, who needs a horse when we are carried by the word? Exactly, JT. By the way, guys, I am legitimately just as shocked as anybody else that robbery occurred during my sermon. I legitimately had no idea. The last time I was on the server was on Friday for the sermon. And then I was kind of away from my computer for the weekend. And then on Monday, I was recording the live series. Yesterday, I was on Hermitcraft, streaming from Hermitcraft. And today, I came to Cowboys, and suddenly, there's all this this crazy business happening. Robbery during my sermon. Or during the preacher's sermon. Absolutely outrageous. Here we go. Here's the canyon of which I speak, although it's taken me quite long to get here. And I don't know if we're going to have much time for pan/fishing. If you're fast enough, you can do both of these things at the same time. Wait a minute. Oh, my hotkeys again. What? How many things are put to G? That's my swap hand thing. Gestures menu. No, go away. Go away with all the things. Just want to keep things simple here. Oh my goodness gracious, okay. Here come the fish also. I think we have to do this. Wait, is it like this? Yeah. There we go. We finally did it. So we can cast, and now we just listen for the fish to bite. So far, 0 bones though. That's gold though. Nice. Sand? So yeah, the preacher has learned some very strange things today. And I guess he's kind of angry. Betrayed almost, right? Also, the preacher's been saying since day one that these newcomers are nothing but trouble, and no one believes him. Ooh, there's another bit of ammo for the gun that he was given. That's nice. Who actually gave me that gun, guys? I can't remember. Was it Mr. P. Scythe? Or was it the sheriff? I can't remember. That blaster is so cool, by the way. Of course, the preacher wouldn't have anything to do with dangerous weapons and stuff, you know, he's the humble preacher, but he's still fascinated by the strange machine that he was given. You know, what is that squid doing, dude? Oh, we have found a couple of blasters of our own, true, but the preacher doesn't mind collecting strange and wonderful trinkets, especially when they're given to him for free. Trinkets sell for a good profit out there in the world, you know? And the church is an expensive thing to run. The fishing is really not rewarding us with anything, right? But the panning is doing pretty good. We're getting a bunch of gold here, which is nice. 2 bone meal. I think we might have to think about changing the primary building block for the wall. It might just have to be white terracotta, because we are not, like, if this is the rate that it takes to get bones, it's going to take a really, really long time to get all the bones that we need. We got a bunch of donations from everybody, which is really nice. But, ooh, wait, what block is that? That looks like a really bony looking block. Wait, what's that? Oh, it's wool? I was about to say, this white wool is interesting. Not quite correct for the build, but definitely interesting. I don't think we got any bones from fishing whatsoever, right? Like, we just got fish from fishing? Yeah. I think panning is one of the only ways we can get bones. Perhaps this isn't the greatest use of time. The next sermon needs to be filled with fire and brimstone. I agree. There's some bones. Good lord. Any bones? 1 bone. Wow, these woods are absolutely jam-packed with the filthy undead. They've even got clothes on. Goodness gracious. Alright, well, I think we have to figure out a different plan. Or perhaps go and ask around if anybody's got some extra bones that they no longer need. We don't really have that much more to do on the walls of the church. I think we probably need like a maximum of like a stack of bone blocks. But, you know, a stack of bone blocks is quite a lot when you think about it, right? 64 times 9? Like, that's how much bone meal we need, right? That's a fair amount. Ow, ow, ow. I think we're on the wrong side of the canyon, too. What's 64 times 9? A lot. That's what. Like that. There's no ways we're panning that amount of bone meal. What am I even thinking? That's just an outrageous suggestion to pan that much bone meal. That's silly. 9 stacks of bone meal. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we have to go to plan B then. 576 bone meal. And in, what, 20 minutes we got like 2 bone meal and 2 bones. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Wait a minute. Look, there's panning stuff here. Right? Yeah. Weird. Just out here in the middle of the open. Don't mind if I do. Oh, wow. Ammo. Yeah, we got to go skeleton grinding, potentially. True. The trouble is, though, we don't have fortune or whatever, so... Ah! Bone! Sweet. We could become a skeleton hunter. Begin our skeleton hunter arc. That is something that we could do, yes. Or a lot of crop farming. Oh, right, because we could... That's not a bad idea. We could compost bone meal, right? Out of, like, a bunch of crops. White concrete... That's an interesting shout. I wonder what white concrete looks like with the shader packs. It might not be as... Because my concern is that white concrete is obviously in vanilla really, really bright, right? But maybe... Whoopsie. Dude, how lucky am I to get... flint like right away from breaking some of this concrete or this gravel. The heck? How lucky is the preacher? Let's make some white concrete and check it out. See what's up. White concrete might be a thing, because then we can turn the bone meal into white concrete. As long as it doesn't clash too much with the bone, right? I do like the way that the white terracotta looks in this build. But white concrete might be just a little bit too much, you know? Let's try it though. So, white concrete. We need like a water source though, right? Oh, we can go up to the little frog pond at the top here. It's like a little pond of frogs. I think it's going to be... I mean, we like the original build did have quartz in it. And quartz is not quite as strong as white concrete, but it's close. Wait, where's the little pond? It's over here, right? Yeah, the powder might look alright too. Here we go. Yeah, it looks like it has a little bit of blue in it, right? With the shader pack on. Not mad about it. But let's see it in situ. Hey, the church is looking pretty good from far away. Still not 100% sold on these little patches of dirt on the top, but, you know. It's getting there. Right, let's see. If we put it there. I mean, it's not terrible, you know. It just looks like a different shade of white paint, right? That could be the argument. So, for example, if we used it up here and just integrated it a little bit into the... We might be able to get away with that just being a different shade of paint, right? You see what I mean? By the way, why am I so bad at making this whole thing? think this is finally it. This is like broken here. So this needs to be built up. But what I'm trying to do is just get the front of the church symmetrically built again. I mean, it kind of works. Kinda. Not really. Oh, this is tough, man. This is tough. Okay, I want to try and just finish off the roof at the front there, but I think we're completely out of... Oh no, we have a few more here. Okay, hold on. Let me try one last thing here. I'm going to try one last finishing touch to the front. If we do this... That should help brings a little bit of symmetry back to the front of the church design. Have to get rid of this, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely helps. You see, that's kind of like bringing the whole thing back together a little bit. And then maybe we can do this. No. Actually, yes. That's fine. That works. We could probably get away with just a single little stair up here, actually. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the blue looks like a shadow, but the pink looks kind of weird, yeah. I mean, we've definitely made some progress, which is good. There is one more thing we can try and do here to make some further progress, and maybe we can get this side of the roof just hanging over the edge a little bit more. And that would be the case all the way up. And then I guess we would want to do something like this. Just to round out the shape a little bit. This one would have to be like this, I think. And hopefully... Oh, these also need to change to a Chachia, but I don't have enough of that for that. Okay, that's fine. We'll sort that out some other time. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of working. This is a bit of a mess here. Like this weird flattening of the roof at that position there. That doesn't look great. I think probably have to dig all of this up, or at least the top part. I have to get rid of all of that and just align it correctly with this gradient, so the gradient's just going straight up. And that should start to fix things. It's coming together, though. That looks way better than it did before.
Keep up the good work, Pastor. It's looking mighty good.
Thank you, Mr. Peace-Scythe. What are you doing with the turtle, though? This is disturbing. Oh, good lord. This conglomeration of green things incoming.
I've got some people who want to show y'all something.
Miss Gracie, why do you bring these creatures close to the church?
Oh, well, they just wanted to show off what they have. Look at them. They've got dice now. They're so excited about it. They're ready to start gambling at this young age.
Well, that is certainly not something that the church can condone.
Would you like to roll a d20 or a d6?
I
Give it a roll.
I kind of would, yeah.
Give it a
I
roll.
kind of would like to give this. How do I do this?
Just
And-
right click.
Oh.
And then you can do it again. You can roll as many times as you want.
Oh, that's fascinating. I seem to be making more and more dice.
You are, and then they'll eventually go away. Oh, no, this is okay. That's yours. So you can just roll.
That is so cool.
But the Narpies were super excited about it, and they really wanted to show y'all.
Oh, I
They've
see.
got some dice
Well,
of their own.
what is
Got a
this
fork.
creature just given me? A walnut cookie? Oh, very
They're
generous,
very
but
sweet. They're very, very
I
kind.
do not accept food from strange green creatures.
No.
Grace,
they're-
you have to understand that the townsfolk nowadays aren't too fond of these little critters.
See, I understand that, but also,
Ow.
I would just like to put out there that they've shown me where all the bandits have retreated to.
They have?
They're honest. Yeah. They showed me there's a big old opening into a giant cave that has ropes and ladders going down.
That
They
is
freely
fascinating
gave that
news indeed.
information because they were manipulated too. They don't really have a concept of ownership, you know? It's really not their fault.
Miss Gracie, perhaps they're trying to lure us into a trap.
Or perhaps they were manipulated all the same.
That is also a possibility indeed.
And I feel like we should be here to protect those who are smaller than us. Stand up to their bullies.
Potentially, although I'm not sure I can trust a creature who cannot take confession. Perhaps if they were able to speak to me in my church, I would feel differently about them.
Would you like to try and take confession? You wanna go confess? Yeah? See, they wanna go confess, Father. They really wanna go confess. Why don't we go take them to confession?
I wasn't prepared for
You
this
see, they
moment, Lady
really-
Gracie. I'm not entirely sure how I should respond.
they all wanna go confess. They do a lot of 2 hops for yes, 1 hop for no.
Oh,
They communicate like that.
you
I
communicate
have
some...
something here
You
as
see?
well.
Look at them,
If
they're
you-
doing 2 hops.
If you want them to if you want them to say something more complex, you just give one of these to them. You tell them to write their thoughts, they'll jot some things down, and I'll be able to translate it for you.
Interesting.
Abolish is also learning all their language. So
I'm...
there's
Get your hands
plenty
off
of
jail.
opportunities.
I feel...
They're
I'm
just
not entirely sure how I feel right now. I feel... If anything, I feel rather uncomfortable, and I'm not sure I'm ready yet to converse with
Yeah, I
these...
feel a bit sweaty.
these green creatures, but potentially give me a few hours in the desert to think about the situation, Lady
perhaps
Gracie.
you
Perhaps
just consider opening
perhaps
your
I'll,
arms to these little creatures.
I will consider it, but
They're very
but
tiny. They give you gold as well.
sermon on
They
Fridays
just
and,
love
and
apples.
confession on Wednesdays, and
Of course.
we
It
might-
is
we might-
Wednesday, is it not, Father?
it is, yes, it is, but it's a sermon on Fridays, and
Of course.
dang it, people, they're so freaking cute. Rendog desperately wants to hear their confession, but the preacher, it would just go against character. The preacher has been very anti the Gnarfs since the moment he saw them, and just to allow them into the church, you know, just sort of on a whim, just wouldn't make any sense from a law perspective. So that was a tough one to say no to, though. It would have been awesome to have them in here, but you know, when you create these characters, you got to try and stick to their character sheet, right? Or it gets confusing. The character then doesn't really make any sense if it's dipping in and out of different mindsets. And I very firmly made the preacher mistrusting of all the foreign entities that have entered the town of Pity, including the Gnarfs, and I think I need to stick to that for now. They're so stinking cute, though, guys. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, friends, I think that's going to do it for me from Cowboys
Father.
today. Ooh, hold on. 1 second. Lady Gracie, please do come in.
Oh, hello. I don't mind.
Please
I'm just
close
gonna
the
leave
door behind
open.
you. Those
Oh.
things are not allowed in here. They
Oh,
know
they
they aren't
respect-
allowed.
they
They
respect-
know they're not allowed in here.
They respect property now.
Oh, they
I was
do.
just wondering
Okay,
if you
excellent.
had that G6 of mine, the red one.
Oh, I do. I thought you might have been coming for confession, Lady Gracie. It is Wednesday after all.
Oh right. Well, I'm not quite the religious type.
I understand.
myself. But I do really love the fact that you get to hear everyone's secrets. I think that's really cool. Do you have any secrets that you've heard that are real juicy that you'd like to share?
There is a fine line between secrets and confessions, Lady Gracie, all of which
Of course.
stay firmly...
All of which fall under the umbrella of town gossip, you know?
Well, they also fall firmly under the protection of the word.
Right.
May the
Well, what if
word
I
be
give
with you,
you
Lady
my
Gracie.
word?
Please close the door on your way out.
Of course. You have a good day now, Father.
Goodbye. Stonewalled. Guys, by the way, it's really hard to log off this server. It's really, really hard to log off. There's always something going on. Oh, man. Anyway, listen, that's going to do it, guys. I need to go get some dinner. I am starving. I'm going to send you over to the merchant who is currently live from the Cowboys SMP. Please, do send her best regards from the preacher and help her out if she has any questions and stuff. Maybe she's... I know that the merchant hasn't been on for the last couple of days because she's been busy, so she might need a little bit of help in the law department. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming, and thank you for all the generous tips and gifts and whatnot, and thanks to moderators for looking after the place so diligently as always. And we will see you all again, potentially tomorrow from the Hermitcraft server. Or from this server. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for watching, friends. Over to False we go, and we'll smell you all in the next stream. Bye, everyone.